Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it is a phenomenal work of art where we first got to see Tim Burton's skills and characters and wacky environments shine, and Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is the sequel. It was released 36 years after the first one, which is an insane time jump. I feel like not many movies get sequels released that far ahead, but this one does, and it's just amazing. I feel like it's much better than the first one, and I'm going to explain why, some of the things I enjoyed about it, and what I expect from the future, because it sets a really important a thing that is gonna probably connect with a third film. Also, this video will contain heavy spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, skip ahead because I'm gonna talk about heavy things, implications around the world of Beetlejuice, some of the characters, and some of the things they leave hanging for the future. So like in real life, the movie makes a time jump of 36 years where Lydia Dietz, which is one of the main characters from the first movie, is now a full grown woman. She has her daughter, Astrid, and she has a very successful paranormal TV show which is kind of like the Twilight Zone, but also she can talk with ghosts and stuff. But people don't know that she can actually talk with ghosts. And I thought it was really funny the way they expand on this universe and these characters. Basically, completely new settings and completely new character developments that makes you want to fill the gaps of the 36 years that passed between the first and the second movie. The only three characters that return from the first movie are Lydia, her stepmother Dahlia, and Beetlejuice himself. And the movie does a lot of good things to fill the gaps between the two movies. For example, they explain that the couple who died in the first movie just moved on into a better place. And it does that in dialogue scenes that answer those questions, which is kind of convenient for the movie, but I feel like it doesn't detract for like a lot of the things because I'll explain next how the movie expands on the amazing things of the first Beetlejuice. Let's talk about my favorite thing about the movie. It handles several plot lines, like for example, 4 or 5 different plot lines. Each character basically has their own arc they go towards. For example, Lydia trying to deal with her new boyfriend and trying to take care of Astrid. Astrid, she wants to go and distance herself from her crazy family, and she meets a boy, and then they go to the underworld. Beetlejuice has his own arc, basically with his ex-wife, who's like trying to hunt him down after years, trying to get revenge on him. And each character, like I said, it's just like full of so many things. Like the movie just like moves like this, fast, fast, fast. And that is one of my favorite things because I felt like the original Beetlejuice didn't have a lot of things that expanded in like the movie in different ways or the universe. It was like slower paced, it felt shorter. Like you didn't like there were a lot of questions you wanted to answer in this world, and Beetlejuice 2 just does that in so many great ways. Michael Keaton's performance as the main character is just really fun. I love Beetlejuice so much. I feel like his performance is very similar. Like it feels like no time has passed at all since the first and the second movie. Like that's exactly how it feels, and he's just like great in all the scenes. He's super funny, and we get a lot of backstory from him. We actually get the origin story of Beetlejuice, and we get his like motivations. He's like a more balanced character after all the years. He's not much of a villain now. He's more like a anti-hero, the antagonist, I guess. Like Lydia could be considered the main character, but he's kind of like a more like a Deadpool-like character who accompanies her throughout her journey and trying to save Astrid as she gets into trouble in the middle of the movie. Jenna Ortega has basically been killing it in the last couple years in the horror franchises she's been in. For example, Scream, X, and also now Beetlejuice and Wednesday Addams. She does a really great job in all these roles, and as Lydia's daughter, Astrid, I feel like she also does a great job. I feel like her whole journey in the movie is motivated also by her, place in this family, like how she wants to basically be a normal person, but they don't let her. And then she meets this boy who she tries to help, and that leads to a whole different story where the boy is actually a serial killer, and he's trying to basically exchange her soul for his to go back into the realm of the living. And there's a lot of things like this in the movie. There's the whole fact that there's 3 villains, like 3 main antagonists, and each one gets explored and fleshed out is something that not even like the most recent Marvel movies have done. They can't even handle 1 villain, and somehow this manages to introduce 3, and like aside from all the other cast of characters, in a great way. In terms of style, the movie is phenomenal. I think Tim Burton can't miss. He's just one of my favorite directors for a reason, because the film itself is full of his like classic, wacky, intense, humorous, creepy. It's just like so many great things in his style. I've been in love with Tim Burton's style ever since I saw like the earliest movies he made, like Corpse Bride is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's just like so beautiful to look at. The practical effects are amazing. I really feel like 2024 is the year where practical effects are making a revival. For example, in films like Beetlejuice, in Alien Romulus, which had the xenomorph be completely practical. I feel like we're trying to go back to the roots, and that works so well in the terms of the quality of the movie. Every single one of these scenes feels alive. There's scenes where people are dancing, where there's like, for example, in the waiting room, it kind of like recreates that joke from the first one where people die in very specific ways, and you just see them in the wait room. For example, you get like a person dressed in a Santa Claus costume, but he's all burned out, so you're like, oh, I guess what happened there. And it's just like full of those like tiny little details that when you like look at them, you're like, oh my god, this is so funny. For example, people just reading a book and the book having like a funny, corny title. It's just, the movie's just so full and so packed. I just loved it so much. And yeah, there are so many great directions the movie took, and I really hope they make a third one because there's so much material in this universe to make an entire franchise. But I feel like a trilogy, the third one, obviously titled Beetlejuice, 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 is gonna be just amazing. And okay, I guess I said the name 3 times. I don't know what's gonna happen now.
What? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Hey, shut up! You fucking crazy? We don't want that guy running around in here.
No, Johnny, he'll be on our side. He'll help us. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
You are meddling with powers you do not understand.
It's showtime.
But yeah, top tier movie, one of my favorites of the year. I'm gonna give it a 90 out of 100. It's just really that good. It's just really entertaining. And yeah, it's classic Tim Burton back again after a couple of years without making movies. So yeah, anyways, those are pretty much all my thoughts on the new Beetlejuice. If you like the video, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll be reviewing more horror movies in the future, so stay tuned for that.